George and Emily are going to show you the conversation they had when they first knew that they, well, as the saying goes, that they were meant for each other. But first, I want you to remember what it was like to have been very young, particularly the days when you were first in love. Didn't quite know what street you're on and didn't quite hear everything that was said to you. You were a little bit crazy. Can you remember that, please? Now, George has just been elected junior class president, which means he'll be president of the senior class all next year. Emily, she's been elected secretary and treasurer, and I don't have to tell you how important that is. Well, they'll be getting home from school any minute now. There they are, coming down Main Street.
I can't, Luis. I've got to go home. Goodbye. Oh, Ernestine. Ernestine, can you come over and do Latin tonight? Isn't the Cicero the worst thing? Goodbye. Goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Fred.
Can I carry your books home for you, Emily?
Thanks, it isn't far.
Oh, excuse me a minute, Emily. Say, Bob, if I'm late, start practice anyway and give Herb some high ones.
Oh, goodbye, Lizzie.
Well, goodbye, Lizzie. I'm awfully glad you got elected, Emily.
Thanks.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Why have you been treating me so funny lately?
Well, since you asked me, I might as well say it right out. Oh, goodbye, Miss Corcoran.
Goodbye, Mrs. Corcoran. Well, what is it?
I don't like the whole change that's come over you. Up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. And I used to watch you as you did everything, because we've been friends so long. But then you spent all your time playing baseball. And you never stopped to talk to anybody anymore. Not even your own family you didn't. And it's a fact, George, you've gotten awful conceited and stuck up. And all the girls say so. They may not say so to your face, but they say it behind your back. And it hurts me to hear them say it, but I've got to agree with them a little. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I can't be sorry I said it.
I'm glad you said that, Emily. I never thought such a fault was creeping into my character. I guess it's hard for a fella to not have anything go wrong with him.
Well, I expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
Well, I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
Well, my father is. And as far as I can see, your father is. There's no reason why you shouldn't be too.
Well, you see, I think it's the other way around. Men aren't naturally good, but girls are.
Well, you might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for girls to be as perfect as men, because girls are more nervous. No, I'm sorry I said all that about you.
Emily.
I can tell it's not true and it's not important anymore.
Emily, would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Thank you, I would.
Hello, George. Hello, Emily. What are you... Why, Emily Webb.
Oh,
What have you been crying about?
She had an awful scare, Mr. Morgan, that the hardware store wagon almost ran over her again. Everybody says Tom Huckins drives like a crazy man.
Well, let me get you a glass of water. It gets worse every year. You have to look both ways when you cross Main Street now. Here you are. Now, what do you two have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate. Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
No, Emily, have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 ice cream sodas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shh. Shh. Here they are. Enjoy them.
Thank you.
They're so expensive.
No, Emily, don't think about that. We're celebrating our election. And you know what else I'm celebrating?
No.
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend who tells me all the things that ought to be told to me.
Well, George, please don't think about that. It's not true.
No, Emily, you stick to it. I'm glad you said that. But you'll see, I'm going to change. You bet. I'm going to change so quick. And Emily, I'd like to ask a favor of you.
What, George?
Emily, if I go away to, say, agriculture college next year, will you write me a letter every once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. Oh, it certainly seems like being away 3 years, you'd get out of touch with things. Maybe letters from Grover's Corners wouldn't be as interesting, especially when you think of all of New Hampshire, but I think it's a lovely town.
I know the day wouldn't come when that's true, Emily.
I'll try and make my letters interesting.
You know, Emily, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agriculture school to be a good farmer.
Why, George.
Yeah, and some of them said, well, it's even a waste of time, and you can get all that stuff out of pamphlets the government sends out, and Uncle Luke's getting old, and he said he'd be ready for me to take over tomorrow if I could.
My.
And being gone and other places and meeting other people, gosh, if anything like that could happen, I don't think I'd want to go away. New people aren't any better than the old ones. I bet they almost never are. Emily, I feel you're as good as a friend I've got. I don't need to go meet other people in other places.
Oh, but maybe it's important for you to learn about cattle judging and soils and those things. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go.
Why-
I'm telling Pa about it tonight.
Why, George, I don't see why I have to decide right now. It's a whole year away.
And I'm glad you spoke to me about that fault in my character. But what you said was right, but there was one thing that was wrong, and that was when you said for a year I wasn't noticing people, and, well, you, for instance. Well, I always thought you as one of the chief people I thought about. I always made sure you were sitting by and who you were with on the bleachers, and for 3 days now I've been trying to walk home with you. Yesterday I was standing for you over by the wall, and you walked home with Mrs. Corcoran instead.
Why, George, life's awful funny. How would I have known that?
Emily, I want to tell you why I'm not going to State Agriculture College next year. I think once you've met a person who you're very fond of, and they're fond of you too, and like you enough to be interested in your, well, character, I think that's just as important as college, and even more so. That's what I think.
I think it's awfully important, too.
Emily?
Yes, George?
Emily, if I do make a change, would you ever, I mean, could you ever...
I am now. I always have been.
So I guess it's a pretty important talk we've been having.
Yes, yes.
Wait just a minute and I'll walk you home. Oh, Mr. Morgan, I'll have to go home to get the money for this. I can't pay you right now.
Why, George Gibbs, do you mean to tell me
Yes,
that...
yes, Mr. Morgan, but I had my reasons. Here, take my gold watch.
Keep your watch, George. I'll trust you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Morgan. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Trust you 10 years, George, not a second over. Get all of your fright, Emily?
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Morgan. It was nothing.
You ready?
I'm ready.